Kind Dragon of Willow Valley. In the heart of Willow Valley, everyone stayed inside when the mist rolled down from the crag. High above lived a dragon, or so the legend said, with scales of iron and a heart of fire. But Fern, a girl with messy braids and a heart full of questions, didn't believe the scary stories. She often looked up at the cave, wondering if the dragon ever felt lonely. The grown-ups in the valley were not so curious. They were cautious. Mayor Silas would lock the gates at sundown, and Baker Bram would hide his finest tarts. "He'll eat us out of house and home," Bram would whisper. "He'll burn the willows to ash," Silas would warn. They had never seen the dragon, but they were sure he was a monster. One afternoon, Fern decided she'd had enough of maybes and mightbes. She packed a basket with a warm loaf of honey bread and her favorite blue ribbon. She began the long climb up the winding path to the crag. The air grew cooler, and the only sound was the crunch of her boots on the stones. Inside the cave, it wasn't dark at all. Soft blue light pulsed from the walls. Fern peered around a stalagmite and gasped. There sat Pax. He wasn't breathing fire or sharpening claws. He was sitting very still, his massive tail curled neatly around his toes, looking down at something small and fragile. Pax was a dragon of quiet things. He spent his days tending to luma shrooms, delicate fungi that only grew in the mountain silence. He used his warm breath not to burn, but to keep the cave at a perfect, cozy temperature. When he saw Fern, he didn't roar. He simply tilted his head and let out a soft, melodic hum. Fern stepped forward and held out her basket. "I brought you some bread," she whispered. Pax leaned down, his snout as large as Fern's entire torso. He sniffed the basket and let out a puff of steam that smelled like cinnamon. With great care, he took the bread between two claws and shared a piece with his new friend. Suddenly, the sky outside turned a bruised purple. A great storm broke over Willow Valley, the likes of which hadn't been seen in 100 years. Rain lashed down, and the Willow River began to rise, spilling over its banks. Down in the village, Mayor Silas watched in horror as the water crept toward the houses. Up in the cave, Pax felt the mountain tremble. He looked at Fern, then at the valley below. He knew he had to help. With a mighty leap, he soared out of the cave. Fern watched from the ledge as his iridescent wings caught the lightning, making him look like a falling star descending toward the village. The river was about to wash away the main bridge when Pax landed. He didn't use fire. He used his strength. He braced his tail against the stones and spread his vast wings over the nearest cottages, acting as a giant umbrella. Mayor Silas stared up in awe, realizing the monster was actually their protector. When the sun rose the next morning, the valley was safe. The villagers didn't hide anymore. Instead, they brought wheelbarrows of fruit and flowers to the town square. Fern sat on Pax's shoulder as the dragon helped rebuild the bridge. Willow Valley was no longer afraid, for they finally knew that Pax's heart was the warmest thing in the world.